we are going to solve polynomial equations using the zero product rule. And so first we've got to define what the zero product rule is. And the zero product rule is a rule that says if we have two numbers a times b and we set them equal to 0, then either a equals 0 or b equals 0. And if either condition is true, then the result will be 0. And this is why we like looking at things that are in factored form. So for instance, suppose we have x plus 5 times 2x minus 3 equals 0. Well, according to the zero product rule, there's a times here between these. So either x plus 5 equals 0 or 2x minus 3 equals 0. So we solve these equations. X equals minus 5. Add 3 to both sides to get 2x equals 3. And x equals 3 halves. So my two answers are, in a set, minus 5 and 3 halves. And either of these values will make the original equation equal to 0. So with this in mind, let's look at what do we do if we have something like 2x squared minus 5x equals 3. Well, our first goal is to get to 0 on the right so we can use the zero product rule. So we're going to subtract 3 from both sides. 0. Then we're going to factor 2 times minus 3 is minus 6. Factors of minus 6 out to minus 5 are minus 6 and 1. We divide both of those by our leading 2, reduce fractions, and we get x minus 3 times 2x plus 1 equals 0. So then x minus 3 equals 0, 2x plus 1 equals 0. Add 3, and x equals 3. For our other one, we're going to subtract 1 from both sides. 2x equals minus 1, divide by 2, and x is minus 1 half. And so my answer is the set 3 minus 1 half. Now if you look carefully, these almost match what we got from our synthetic factoring. In fact, if you change the signs on the synthetic factoring, you get your answers without having to go to factored form. That's one of the reasons why synthetic factoring is so useful. Now, with all of this in mind, I also want to emphasize that it's important to go back and check our answer. So 2 times 3 squared minus 5 times 3, does that really equal 3? This is 2 times 9 minus 5 times 3, which is 18 minus 15, and sure enough, that equals 3. What about the minus 1 half? Well, this gives us 2 times 1/4 minus 5 times minus 1 half, which is 1 half plus 5 halves, which is 6 halves, which sure enough is 3. So both answers do in fact work. Now let's look at another example. W cubed plus 5w squared minus 4w equals 20. Again, our first step, let's subtract 20 from both sides so that we have everything on one side and a 0 on the other. Then we notice that there are 4 terms, so we're going to factor by grouping. We pull a w squared out of the first one, which leaves a w plus 5. We pull a minus 4 out of the second one, which also leaves a w plus 5. This becomes w plus 5 times w squared minus 4 equals 0. W squared minus 4 is a difference of squares. And our answers are w equals minus 5, w equals minus 2, and w equals 2. And here are our answers. Or, in a set, minus 5, minus 2, 2. And that's how we find answers using the zero product rule. Factor everything down, and then solve each factor individually.